Hi guys, Bruce here. Well, we got a 5 horsepower Briggs & Stratton tiller. 1977 is the date on the motor. So she's been around a while. And the owner tells me that the rewind doesn't always catch when it goes back in. So this time it did, that time it didn't. There, that time it caught. So we're just going to start it up and see how it runs. He says it does run. So first thing I'm going to show you is it looks like the exhaust valve is letting out a little flame, or maybe that's just age. And it's got a different throttle and speed control on there. So let's just see how it goes. He says he just used it like 2 days ago, so it should be good. It should be noisy though, I bet. There's nothing holding the sound back. You can look right inside there and see the exhaust port. Okay. Choke. Throttle. So that's not bad for an old machine that hasn't had a lot of care. Although they've kept the oil up and they've kept the filter clean. So that's the start of it. So my plan, put you back down. My plan is to clean that rewind up. It's probably a clutch. It's probably, these are a ratchet and they go right behind. The rewind sits in here. When you start it, it turns the engine over, and then you can rewind it and start it and turn the engine over. And there's numerous ball bearings in here, and sometimes they don't fall back to their detent position. And so I have a few of these if that one's no good, but I'm sure we can probably clean that one. And then I think I'm going to take the carburetor off and put in a new diaphragm. I mean, they're $5, right? And I might put in a side exhaust muffler, because right now the operator is standing here holding the handlebars, right? And this is how the exhaust is coming right back into their face. And even having it kick out to the side is just, oh, so much better. So, and we'll have a look at the fuel and all that stuff. But it's okay for an old machine, eh? It'll have points too, but if they're working, I'm not going to muck with them. I might adjust them. So that is step 1 of 5 horsepower Briggs tiller. Alright guys, well, I've had time to think. It's the next day, and I wanted the gases to blow off to the side, and the muffler was pretty loud, although it's going to stay louder. Parts are hard to get around here. Like, you just can't go down to a small engine repair shop and get parts. They're in the larger centers. So I've got this from an 8 horsepower Briggs & Stratton that was, parted out, and I think I'm just going to lay that on there. I just have to cut that back notch out, and that will do 2 things. That'll help quieten it down, and it'll also get the exhaust gases going to the side. And this muffler came off without too much, it just came off. These bolts weren't seized into the block. So that's one solution there for that. And now that I've got the muffler off, I can work on the carburetor. It already runs, right? So and it runs quite good. So we don't have to spend much time with the tank and the suction tube and all that other stuff. We're just going to clean this up and put a new diaphragm in. And possibly take out the jet on the other side and clean that. And also, of course, the rewind clutch bushing ratchet. Alright, this is what I like about the older machines. I took a muffler deflector from an 8-horse, riveted it onto the old muffler, which will do two things. It'll reduce noise and it'll also exhaust the gases to the side instead of at the back. Whoops, at the side instead of at the back. And that wasn't the major fix. And I'm going to put a little tiny bit of anti-seize on those bolts right there. Focus! I'm going to take the rewind cover off. It actually, for a Roto-tiller, it is really clean inside. So I'll just clean it up a little bit before I put it back on. Alrighty. 1/4 inch nut driver. Take the screen off. Now we're going to take this off, right? Show you that. And we're going to just brace the flywheel and take that off. Now in the old days I used to bust my knuckles and cuss and, you know, well I actually do cuss, you know, I just don't cuss online. So anyway, George Jervich sent me this. This is the Briggs & Stratton clutch remover tool. That's awesome. Now what some guys do is they take out the spark plug and they stick a rope down in the cylinder so that you don't get the rotation, right? But I am not going to do that. I don't like sticking a rope down in there. So I'm just going to block this on the cast iron side, not the aluminum. And I should be able to just turn this off. That should work. Beautiful. Isn't that a wonderful thing? There we go. You can hear that? There's just nothing going on in there. We're going to see if we can take this apart. I don't think it's ever been apart. Put it in the vise. This isn't my only vise. Whew! It's on there. I don't like hitting my... There we go. I don't like hitting my screwdrivers like that. So here's what we got. You guys might have seen these before. Small engine guys know what these are. So there is the ratchet and the balls are in there. And they just work like a ratchet. That's exactly how a ratchet works, right? But what's happening is there's just a small amount of grease in there, right? And all of that little bit of grease is causing these ball bearings to not expand back out again. So I'm just going to wash this in parts washing fluid, and we'll come back when I'm done that. I don't want to use too much time up on the video. Just, you know, you guys don't need to watch me wash grease off ball bearings, right? Thanks. Parts washer. And they should probably be in good shape. Yes, they are. Now my job is to not drop any. They're in excellent condition, by the way. So let's just put them in there. Okay, that's down. All right. Let's just stick them in there. So I'm going to just put the cover on. It's clean. And we're going to use the vise to close it up. not hard, just to keep the balls from falling out. Now, we should have a little better, look at that. I think it even works better than the one I've got captive. Yeah, it does. So now we're going to get just a little tiny bit of nice fine 30 weight oil and drop it into that felt pad if it's in there. Yes, it is. Excuse me, I really like the 30 weight oil. It seems cleaner. I don't know, it just seems so fine. That's all you need in there. Hopefully you guys saw that. I'll just pack that in there. And that's it. So that was their major complaint with the Roto-tiller, was that the rope wouldn't always sit. So now I'm going to clean up the receiving end of that. Oh, please forgive me, I'm moving slower these days. Just a little bit in there. A little bit on the edges. I think that's good. Alright guys, I just put the flywheel back on with the flywheel key in the right spot. The spring washer or concave washer on there like that. And now the clutch. And we'll tighten that up with the tools provided. Thanks again, George. And the torque on that is hand tight. Here's that little door I was talking about, and it's got just a rubber diaphragm on the back. I'm just going to clean this up and put a new one on. Alright guys, the Briggs diaphragm is 270026. FYI. Inside the hole, you have to be careful. There's a spring, a large spring, and a spring retainer. I just left that in the hole, and I sprayed carb cleaner into those holes. On the other side, same thing. I took out the main jet and just cleaned inside there. And here's the main jet right here. And I'll make sure that's clean. The hole in it and everything. I'll make sure all it's good. But it was running, don't forget, right? So we're not stuck. We are just going to turn the machine around and put the rewind housing on. I checked the belt, it's good. And so the only parts we have left is the old diaphragm and the air cleaner. So I'm going to go get some fuel. And we're going to see if this baby runs. Alright tubes, here we go. Demo. We got a storm brewing out there.